make sure I have this muted because.
Hello, everybody. Giving it a hot second for everybody to catch up. But as you can see, I have a friend here today.
Oh
Hello,
my
Jen.
gosh! Hello, Amanda. How are you?
I think both of
Oop.
us had quite the Monday, but we're doing okay.
We're here. We made it.
Yeah. And I think everyone
Time.
probably already knows you who's coming over here to hang out. I don't think
Cool.
it's a surprise, but Jen reads a lot of romance,
I
gives
do.
amazing reviews and lots of recommendations on oddly specific things.
Yes. Yes. Do you want a hero with a big dick or a piercing on his dick? Come to me. I got it for you.
Yeah. We did a whole video on pegging. Fuck it. I'm not going to try to rhyme it with anything.
Yes, pegging Rex. That's one of my favorite videos I've made. I'm not gonna lie. That's my favorite.
You're doing the Lord's work.
I do my best.
Anyway, hello, Cassie. How are you off in Australia?
Oh, your avatar's so cute.
Hello. Hey, Sharon. How are you? So, Jen, what are you going to be reading today?
Yes. Well, I have some journaling to get done. And it's funny because the last time I came on for reading sprints, we talked about this author. But I'm rereading my favorite
Oh.
of the year. Not my favorite of her series, but my favorite of the year. Because in December, I reread all the favorites. And I've been doing that for 3 years, and it is the best thing. I highly recommend people reread their favorites at the end of the year. But I do that to decide my favorite since I read like 600 books. Sometimes I need to remind. So I'm going to listen to the beautiful Robert Pekov read this to me while I do some journaling. But yeah, I'll probably finish it while we do these today. So
probably
Monroe.
Yeah, like
poor dude.
Okay. Monroe got buried for me, and I never read it yet.
I know, that's why I can't say anything. I think we talked about it last time.
I love spoilers. You can tell me whatever you want.
Oh,
like maybe not because I don't want to piss off everyone in the comments. But
we won't. I'll just say, like, as this is like not a spoiler because it's out of context, but the part I'm at in the book, they need to go to the Dacians to ask Lothair for a favor. So I'm at a part where Ren which is his heroine, her name is Kyrene, but he calls her Ren, which is good because Kyrene's weird. And so Monroe and Ren have to go talk to Lothair, and he's of course trying to make a deal with them. And Elizabeth is like, no, you're gonna help them because we're nice now. And he's like, oh, fine. It's just so bad.
Like, how nice do we need to be?
right. How helpful do we have to be? And it's like, very helpful. Okay, you don't need to be making deals anymore because he's trying to rebuild his black book. So he wants to make deals with everybody. But
good old affair.
Yes, I just love when he shows up, and he's so much more full of good humor, even though he likes to pretend he's not. But I mean, he's getting the nookie, so he is in a better mood, as we all are. So
fair point.
Oh, I love it.
Come back over here. Hello, and hello. So, Jen, I don't know if you've been to other reading sprints. It's okay if you haven't, but we've been kind of group writing a book because it's so bizarre that we've been having fun with it. And this is our author.
I know this?
It's a zombie killing,
sexy
priest, and he like bangs a nun, and they're like partners. And then he used to be a hitman, but now he's a priest, and he kills zombies, and it happens at Christmas.
Right.
And it's just so bizarre that we keep building on it, and it's fun to talk about every time.
I'm so in. I love all those things you've said. Like a zombie fighting hitman priest story. I love it. I love all those things.
At Christmas.
Is he like trying to bring back Christmas or make it home for Christmas? Like what's...
I think it's just Christmas. I don't know. That's for the author.
Is he like, I'll be home for Christmas, so you got to kill the zombies to get home? You found the last special toy at a Walmart.
These are all great ideas. I don't know. So far, we've had him at a church, like his parish, and then like the dead have risen. And so, and they are the zombies of people he killed when he was a hitman.
That
Christmas.
That is a special kind of evil for you to be like haunted by
Yeah.
people you killed. Wow.
So, anyways, we've been writing this.
I'm into it. I did not know, but oh, Mel's here. Hey, Mel.
Hello.
Into pegging and certain piercings. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
They show up. I'm like,
your girl. If you want a wreck, she'll have it.
Yep. I have oddly specific ones, which are just random, like, oh, he's a mechanic, because some people really like reading about mechanics. Or it can be taboo specific, like, you know, I don't think pegging is taboo, but some people might feel like it is. So it's like,
I figure that's like pretty normal as far as everything goes.
I mean, I wish it was more normal. Like, some authors like to joke about it and then not do it. And I'm like, you know, you could normalize it and just put it in there.
Yeah. Olivia Dane.
I mean, Sarah, like,
yeah.
I don't know. I just want to know how much of that was like her, like,
I'm not sure.
Like her publisher made her hold it back.
Maybe.
That's what I want to know. I feel like Carina Press lets you put it in there because there's an Adriana Herrera that has it in it.
Mm-hmm.
I still haven't read that yet, but I think, I mean, they're a smaller press, so they can be like, whatever.
Carina's got good stuff, though. I find some hidden gems.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I mean, I love Annabeth Albert. She has all I want. Gay fireman, gay soldiers, gay. One that's, I mean, one of my favorite winter ones is like, he's not a game warden, but he looks over a national park in Alaska, and there's an intern who comes to stay with him, and not young. He's not an intern because he's young. He's just interning with it, and they get locked. They're in a cabin all winter together, taking care of the park, and it's two guys. Oh yeah, Annabeth Albert, don't hide it from us. But they're also like wholesome ones. So it's a grumpy sunshine. Like the guy who's interning, he had ball cancer. So he's living out his dreams. Like he had survived his cancer. And now he's like, I'm going to go do stuff. And I want to go to Alaska and work at a national park is my dream.
Love it.
So, anyway, Annabeth Albert writes for Carina Press a lot. And
yeah,
they have some like menages too. They have FFM one that someone haven't read.
That's like, it's a lot of their ones are queer related stories. I don't know. I just read After Hours on Milagro Street from Carina Press, and like it's really good.
Good.
Like there's a ghost in it and a treasure hunt. Like, and also it's like a rom-com. There's a lot of things going on in there that like aren't in the blurb, but like it's really cool. I really enjoyed it a lot.
Think Hallmark movie, but with zombies and sexy times. Okay, I'm here for it.
Okay, hold on. Let me get back to comments. I've been ignoring them.
Sorry, she was pitching it more, and I was like, "You're saying more things."
We're gonna get there. Hello, darling. How are you? Oh, okay. So you got 3 different books going on. Playing a bit of Stardew, and then we'll start reading Rules of Civility. Okay.
Love it.
Hello, my dear. How are you? And hi. Thanks for coming. Ooh, City of Brass. Okay.
Oh, Belladonna keeps popping up. I gotta read that.
Yeah, I keep seeing it pop up too. Yeah. I'm not sure what it's about. It's like YA, right?
Yeah, it's it's a retelling of is it Hades and Persephone or Death and the Maiden? I can't remember.
It sounds something like that.
But Crystal loved it. She's been reading some more like YA fantasy lately, mixing it in again, and she loved that one. She said it had great sexual tension for being like YA. Like it was very like, even though there isn't like an open door stuff, it like carried the tension very well. And I was like, I can be down for that, especially after rereading Sarah J. Maas. I can be down for it.
Okay.
So yeah, it is definitely made. Okay.
Yeah. Well, she knows now. Yes, everyone needs to know. This is our story we've been writing. This is a book and a Kindle book. Yes.
See, y'all are my people. I only told about the one I'm in the middle of 5, but this is the one that the goal to finish tonight is this one. So that's why I was like,
yeah, I got 3 books next to me too. Hey, Sarah. Hallmark movie, but with zombies and sexy times. Okay, why not? I mean, the Hallmark Christmas thing, but zombies and in sexiness.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, Kindle Unlimited. I don't have Kindle Unlimited. I know everyone has it, and I don't. A spooky romantic treasure hunt. Yes. After Hours on Milagro Street by Angelina Lopez.
Someone sent me a bunch of her books in a package. They sent me like some royal ones by her. I had never heard of this author before, but I was interested because it.
Yeah, I think my first one by and I almost said Jolie, Angelina Lopez, was After Hours, and I really liked it. I thought it was really good. They bang in chapter 1.
Nice. I think because they have like queer, but then they also have bi POC.
Yeah, I think the main character is bi POC.
Yeah, like their whole because I think with Carina Press, I've noticed that there's a lot of diversity that they take on, so I like that. Yeah, I got sent a whole bunch of her, so I was like, ooh.
Yay, I'm glad you got your card. I sent out Christmas cards to my patrons.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Belladonna is really good. It's a YA Death and the Maiden.
Yes. Yeah, okay. Death and the Maiden is a
Christmas Escape by Sarah Morgan, City of Brass, and Barbarian Alien. Well, these are all very different stories.
I was kind of hiding it. This is my snuggly blanket.
Is it Barbarian?
No, it's Tiffany Roberts. This was in a box I got, and he is a shadow demon protector of the woods.
That's a fancy blanket, though.
Oh yeah, I was not expecting it. I ordered a book box, and there was a full-on like fuzzy blanket inside. I was like, wow. I ordered a book box, and this box like this big shows up, and I was like, what size book is this?
Yeah, like normally you get like the little thin blankets. Like that's like a fancy blanket.
Yeah, it has like a fuzz on the other side.
Yeah.
The only thing is it picks up everything. And I'm like, I don't know how to like wash this, but
yeah. So Belladonna, Death is a love interest.
And he goes, all right. Well,
okay. So there's a bit of heat in it.
Nice.
Okay, good job. I hope you get it uploaded. I've been going through all the romance novels on my Kindle. Oh, okay. Catalysts by Chris Ripper. I have some books by Chris Ripper, but I haven't read anything by Chris Ripper yet.
How many books do you have on your Kindle? Romances, you said. Okay,
romances.
I'm like, that would I would have to not buy another one. Are you reading this Anastasia Exhausted Flamingo?
By Sophie Lark. Mm-hmm. Probably
that one. No, I assume so. I don't think there's too many other books just called Anastasia.
Maybe. It depends how fast you read. We'll do at least a couple sprints. And usually I get about 50 pages done, so maybe.
Yes, you will. Amanda, you're going to like Anastasia whenever you decide to read it someday.
Okay.
You really will.
I know you did. There was so many like, I'm sobbing and I love it videos.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there definitely is. But she did a good job like not giving into like the easy way. I don't know another way to say that, but like taking the time to build it, which I feel like fantasy lovers will appreciate, not just romance lovers.
Well, it's a chonker. It's like it's thick.
It is a chonker.
Yeah. Anyway, I have like 3 different books.
Oh yeah.
One of them I know I'm not going to be reading, but I'm going to read it soon enough. Which is I'm still reading all the James Bonds. So I'm at Man with the Golden Gun. Book 13 of 14, so I'm almost done with them all.
Wow.
I'm probably going to read this one just for the sake of the holiday spirit.
Yeah.
I've read a little bit over half of it. I could finish it tonight. Very Merry Bromance. I love it. It's fun. It's jokey, and hilarious, and smutty. But I also have been working my way through The Witching Hour.
Okay.
For my Anne Rice saga is 965 pages, and like
yeah,
I can work out with it. It's so heavy. Yeah. It's insane. And I've been reading it for like 4 days, and I'm on page 684, and I'm like not done. It's so long. And like Jen, I hate it a little bit.
Oh no.
Like there was like 400 pages of this family like inbreeding with each other
Oh Lord.
for 400 pages. Like, here is my cousin, half brother, and my grandfather. Like, I lost track
That's
of
weird.
who, like, the relations. It's like, what? Just like so much from like the 1600s till like now. Everybody is just so inbred. And I'm like, how are you functional humans? Like, this
Yeah.
is your
You can only go so
grandfather,
far.
your uncle, and technically your half brother is your father. I'm like, what is happening?
No thanks. No thanks.
So
No.
yeah, for like, it's probably more than 400 pages. If I'm being honest, it's probably like 500 to 600. No, like about 500 pages of it.
But what's the plot of the book?
Fuck if I know.
Like they're
Like Anne
wow.
Rice does this a lot, where she starts off a plot and then she's like, "Okay, time for a history lesson," and then the history lesson is most of the book, and then you get back to the plot again. It is the very last like 10% of the book. So it's
Sure.
just like, why?
Yeah. There's so many fantasy books that I have DNF'd over the years that do that type of thing. And you're just like, you wanted to share all the research you've done, so it doesn't feel like you wasted it. But you need to be a discerning author and decide which things we need to know and what we don't.
Yeah.
Because,
And here's the thing: this had to go through an editor.
right.
And they said, like, yep, batter up. This is 965 pages. It could have been longer before this. I doubt it was shorter. Like, I doubt it.
Yeah.
This
But
is
how
the
many
end of
books
the
had she
down
written
version.
before then? You know, because that's the thing. Well, that's the thing that I think of, like, you know, we were talking about SJM before this, is it's like, who's telling her no with anything? You know,
Yeah.
which things could be a no. I mean, who knows? Because maybe they do. In her mind, I'm sure they all need to be there. But who's telling her no about anything right now when you know this author's going to make you $1 billion fucking dollars? You're not going to tell them no.
Yeah.
It's going to let them do
Same.
it.
At
And
this
then the
point,
person,
this was 1990. She had already done an Interview with the Vampire and like the first 3 books at least. So like,
yeah,
we probably let her ramble a bit more than necessary. But like,
yeah. Well, also, if you said that came out in 1990, dang, there was a lot of books that size then. Like, there were Westerns that time that were like that too. That was just I mean, again, I don't know how enjoyable it was for anyone back then. But they're like, oh, this is the kind of book we got to read to get the story we want. So,
yeah, like,
no thanks.
it's a lot. And I mean, I've been doing all of the Anne Rice books like as a video.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yep. Some Dove era. Yep. They know what I'm
like
talking about.
I don't even know like how to even narrow it down. I'm just gonna be like, this family, they all fucked each other for 400 years. Here we are at the present. Like, I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
Because they go into each member of the family since 1689.
Nope. You're a stronger woman than I, man. I would not be around for that. So.
We're finally up to the present again with our main characters. Well, I'm also wanting to read it because the show is coming out in January, the first week of January. And I'll probably do recaps. So I want to have at least the book written. But then I looked at the cast and I'm like, okay, who's playing who? And I'm like, oh, this show is nothing related to the book. Just looking at the cast.
Okay.
Like, our main love interest isn't even a character. His name is Michael. There's no one named Michael in the cast. And I was like, but like, he's like the main guy.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And the other main guy, he's like a paranormal detective guy. His name's Aaron. He's not in there. I'm thinking they're like mashing up 2 main characters into one person.
Okay.
And then there's a bunch of family members that are still alive in the show that are supposed to be dead. I don't know how much of the inbreeding they're going to put in. Hopefully not a lot of it.
I mean, well, it was one of the most popular shows this year. They could probably get away with it. It's like,
it's just a lot.
Yeah. I mean, that is the crazy thing though. Like, if you pay an author for like their stuff, you can use all or none of it. You're just paying for the name. I mean, that's not going to keep fans happy probably, but if you think the story's not that great, like we just want Anne based off of or inspired by Anne Rice's Vampire World, like that's what they're paying for.
Yeah, the show, Interview with the Vampire, the show, loved it.
Good.
Like, I read enough of the books that I can tell the differences, but like I think they stuck close to like the spirit of it and the story of it. They're just telling it through a different lens.
Okay.
Because like it took place like the early 1800s is when Louis got turned, and they moved it up to like 1910 in the show. So it's a different era, but like I think the show is quite good.
Good.
I think the Mayfair Witches show will be better than the book. Hopefully, because oh my God.
Or it could be also a little like what House of the Dragon did, where they only told like a tiny little piece, because that's a history book. And from what my friends have said, they're like, there's like this much of the book that was about the characters that they did.
Yeah, I think they're not going to do any of the history. They're just going to like do the actual plot, which is you probably could do in one season. Like there's not a lot of the actual present in this book.
Yeah, and just have references to the 500 to 600 pages of inbreeding.
Just references. Hopefully there's less of it.
Yeah.
I don't know, because there's this character Courtland Mayfair, and our main heroine is Rowan Mayfair, and Courtland is her father and also her grandfather, and I think her uncle at the same time.
Oof.
But he's dead in the book. He's dead. He's died a while ago, and now he's like alive in this. And I'm like, are they gonna meet? Like, is it Courtland her dad for real? I'm like, what?
That's just so strange. Like, I honestly, like, the Punnett Square you can't even do it at that point. You know, for like genetics. Like, you can't even do the Punnett Square at that point. It's just all messed up. It's just
it's like, could you at least be cousins? Like, I'm asking for at least cousins. Like, this is how low the bar has been lowered. Yeah. I'm like, I'd be happy if you were cousins.
I mean, well, it's also the thing of just like, not going the whole thing, but like when you see how devastating just like cousins can be, of the fact that like an entire like Queen Victoria, literally all of her offspring had issues because of how they got to the point where they were at.
Yeah.
And like her being married to her cousin who had more inbreeding like behind it, and like what that means for people. Like, you're not a healthy person when you have that, you know.
Yeah.
Speaking of just rereading this with a little boy who was really fucked up because of this. Like, it's it's disturbing. All for power, all for I'm sure in that one, is it consolidating magic? Like, is that why they do it?
It's kind of like selective breeding. Like, this one has a lot of magic. This one, let's make more magical babies. And like, surprisingly, most of them don't turn out like goblins. Like, they turn out like humans.
They don't have
a couple of them have had some mental difficulties, but like most of them turn out normal-ish.
Yeah, like I watched a thing on like the Hasberg jaw, and like that dude had like 26% of his DNA, and like cousins you have 6%, and with him his DNA had 26%. And just like the things that like you just can't like think about that, if that's just and like normal people who are strangers, you have 0.01%, the same as just a rando you would meet.
Yeah.
Well, indeed. Okay, sorry. One more random tangent since we're talking about it. There's that thing. Has it come across your like TikTok ever of the like babies who are born by like a sperm donor, that there was places using the same sperm of someone more times than they were supposed to, and there was like a chance that huge swaths of people are related to each other because of these places doing shady shit and like using someone's sperm over and over again.
Like, how much sperm did he donate? Like, by the bucket?
Yeah. Well, not even just that, of just like they used it more than they should have, because I guess like his sperm really got people pregnant easily, like stuff. And so there was people in like, even in like there's just too many of them because of people doing that. And that's just like randos. They're saying like they're not supposed to use it on more than like six kids. And it was on like 100.
Yeah.
Which is like dangerous because nobody knows because it's a closed thing and everything. And it's just like, and that's even just in like the population of like the United States. And it could be freaky who you're related to, which I would be like, the chances are low. I'm not from a sperm donor, so I'm safe. But
well, technically, we're all from a sperm donor.
It wasn't from a random one, we'll say.
Yeah, you know who it was.
Pretty sure it is. Anyway. But anyway. Oh, this was interesting. We get into some interesting conversations. Thank you, Anne Rice. Thank you very much.
Oh God, oh fuck. I have so much more to read, and I hate it. Anyway, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Let's do a reading sprint, and I'm gonna read this book, which I don't hate.
Yes.
And get into the Christmas spirit.
Yes. And I'm gonna listen to my hot werewolf. It'll be great. Or my like a. Sorry, I shouldn't call him a werewolf.
I don't care. You can call him a werewolf.
Me neither.
I love it. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna share my duck man.
Yay!
My duck. All right. Yep. 30 minutes, everybody, and a go. Okay, everybody, that was our first 30-minute sprint. How did everybody do? Hopefully everyone had a good time.
Yes.
I
And
read about 55 pages. Good progress. So far, so good. I am having fun with it. Although I really, really like this series, and there's so many other dudes they can still write books about.
yeah. I didn't even know she was gonna like do that fourth one because it'd been so long. Or fifth, the fifth one. That was the fifth one.
This is the fifth one, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a Christmas one.
Yeah, I got an arc for that one, and then I never got around to it, so I felt bad. But
Well, 'tis the season.
I know.
I'm trying to read a bunch of Christmas books because Jen and I are planning another live show coming up soon where we might do some interesting Christmas book recommendations or holiday, not only Christmas.
Yeah.
And I know you're going to have a lot because you always do. And I mean that in a good way.
I mean, it actually was funny because I was like excited that you asked me, but I don't read a lot of holiday books. So I mean, I have some from past years, and like there's a couple that I am fitting in, but like I don't usually like to read any books that are holiday specific. I find that I don't usually like them. So it's like, you know, people will do the Halloween ones, they'll do the Thanksgiving ones, they'll do that, and people have a lot of fun with them. And like that's a good niche. But for me, I'm like holiday novellas, unless it's a novella about characters I already like, and then it's like their holiday novella, I usually am like 3 stars because it's just they're either always insta love or insta lust. Like one of them I'm going to talk about, like she literally says she loves him the next evening. And I'm like, you didn't need to go to love. Like, you didn't need to jump to that. They could have just had a one night stand and been like, I want to date you. And then you do an epilogue where it's the next Christmas and they're dating each other. Like, cool, that works. But don't actually say you love him the next day. Like,
yeah,
I can't. But so it's like, yeah, it was hot and it was cute. But I was like, but it also was just a quick little smut, which I don't have any problems with. But I also am always going into a book hoping for a 5-star. Like I read every book hoping for that. So when I try a bunch of holiday books where I'm like, I don't know. But one like that by Alyssa K. Adams, where like it just happens to be set in the holiday. She was gonna tell it. Or like this is one that I want to get to. It's by one of my favorite authors, and like it's a full-size book. Like those ones have a better chance for me of being good than just being like a lot of my friends do, like the holiday novellas, which are also fun. Like I've read the Christmas with Krampus one, and it was pretty hot, but I also wasn't expecting anything else out of it. To just be that. Whereas like how the Grump Saved Christmas, I'm like, it's a full-size book. She has a full thing to tell it. I'm expecting it to be a good story. So I'm excited about that. But
did you like what is it? Is it a Merry Little Meet Cute?
I mean, yeah, that was it was a good time. It was a good time. You haven't read it yet?
I'm going to be reading it next.
Okay.
I know I sent you a copy.
Yeah. So I actually got an arc of the audio. So that's why, like, because I probably wouldn't have had you send it to me if I hadn't like read it already. Because it's like a hardcover book, a fully, you know, even though it was signed, it was like, oh, I might not like this. But my friend Charles is like friends with one of the authors, and they sent him some audios. And he was like, here, have an audio. And I was like, oh my God, perfect. It has a narrator I like. And yeah, I had a good time with it. It's,
oh my gosh, I should reach out to Charles and have him come do holiday books with us. That would be amazing.
Charles is so wonderful and chaotic. I love him.
I literally just wrote down Charles, so I remember to email him and be like, hey.
Yeah. I got some good journaling done though. I like 30 minutes go so quick with it. Like mine, because I'm doing audio, like I didn't get through that much, but it doesn't matter. Like it's all pleasant. And like I said, they're in the Dacian realm. So Ellie is saying like, oh yeah, I wanted to chop his head off. And she's like, oh, you do? I understand. I wanted to kill this guy too. He like did that. So they're very much bonding over the fact that, because in Monroe, like Monroe's mate is human. And so he wants to do kind of the same thing Lothair did, because he doesn't want her to die.
Yeah.
And she's like, she kills, like, she's a hunter. And so she's like, I can't be turned into a Lorien. Like, I've killed them my whole life. So she's struggling with that.
Yeah. Although, like, Lothair had, like, some of my favorite lines in the whole series. I forget who Lothair was talking to. I think it was one of his cousins, one of the Dacians.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember the cousin was just like, I mean, I think a near decapitation indicates a need for space.
Right? I love that book.
And then, like, he ripped out his heart and mailed it to her because he's being dramatic. So she mails him back her middle finger. And I'm like, ah!
Mm-hmm. Well, that's
my favorite.
In this one, they're being sassy. And she's like, I want you to do this. And he's like, fine, but only for you. I don't keep anybody's finger in my pocket. He carries it around all the time.
He carries it around. Hopefully it's not gross. Is it all like shriveled up?
I don't know. I don't know what it would be like, but either way,
I mean, she was already a vampire, so maybe it wouldn't decay because it's still a vampire finger.
Maybe it wouldn't. Well, and then because then like he talks a bunch of smack about Nyx, and he's saying all this stuff, and Monroe's like, yeah, she did this to me, and he's like, Nyx is my best friend, only I can say shit about her, and if you do that, I'm gonna come for you. He like lists all this stuff, and then he's like, but she's my oldest friend. And he's like, you just said she left you to rot for 500 years. He's like, doesn't matter. She's my best friend.
The scene with Nyx and Lothair, though, is also, Nyx is my favorite character, by the way. But like, where they were just hanging out, and she's like, ugh, Lothair, I've met dirt younger than us.
No. Well, no, I know. And like the epilogue of this one, Nyx and Lothair go on a trip together. So like, because it's really setting up we're getting really close to some stuff. And at the end of this one, they go somewhere together. And their banter's so great. So yeah, I need to get into this one, girl.
I need a Nyx book. There's no Nyx book. And
There will be. She's working on it. She's working on it. She's I love that lady. I can't even imagine the pressure of it all.
Yeah. I
just can't even to have written something so amazing.
Was she having like issues with like her publisher and she had to wait out her contract?
It was all the things. Like there was issues with that, but she had like an accident.
Yeah, she broke her hip.
Yeah, and so she was behind with that, and that's like when like she got so behind with it. So then I think it was like waiting out to like she had to get out of that contract. And luckily she already had started Valkyrie Press, so she could publish the gay one. The gay romance that was in there. So she already had that, and she'd also published the last Mafia book under her printing too, because that one wasn't, they weren't going to publish that one. But she had to like get out of it. And then, so that's why you got to wait a super long time. And then she was kind of like traumatized by how horrible some people were for her taking too long, which fans are very passionate, but you can check out, like, I remember when like I had caught up, and that was still, I'm lucky. I only had to wait like a year and a half, but like, I remember when I caught up and I went to check out Monroe's thing, and there was these people just leaving, like, there's like 6 years of updates or whatever from people being like June of 2014, blah, blah, whatever. I'm just making stuff up. Cressley Cole, talk about Cressley Cole. Sorry.
Yeah.
Cressley Cole.
The Immortals After Dark series.
Yes.
In particular.
Yes. And so, yeah, there's just a lot. So she's very much like publicity shy. And then she reached out to Naomi through Gina Showalter, because Naomi is Gina's like social person. And so she started doing it for her, but she does everything through her. Like, she doesn't touch social media. She'll answer the questions, but Naomi does all the go-between because she just can't handle it. And that's absolutely fine, because some of the things people said about her some people can just tell people to do this, and some people, like, you hurt them because words hurt. Okay, you're not like people who
Yeah.
are authors even too, like the written word hurts you, like it means something to you.
Mhm.
So to have people say you're just trying to pump people for money or trying to do things, and it's like, no, she had shit happen in her life. Yes, we really want her next book, but like us getting the book isn't more important than her mental health. Like it's the truth.
Yeah.
And now that she can indie publish, she can take care of her health. And so
Yeah.
the goal is to be able to do 2 books a year, but that's just hasn't happened because she's had to rewrite the last Arcane Chronicles like quite a bit. But that's coming in like in April next year.
Yeah.
Got a date, I think.
Mm-hmm. It's been so long since I read Arcana Chronicles because I loved Arcana Chronicles, but like it's been so long that I'm like, I don't know if I remember. I remember a lot of the characters and things that happened, but not enough details, I think.
The last time we did this, actually, I had found a copy of the first one at a used bookstore, and so I want to read those. And then it actually had sprayed edges and everything too.
Oh wow!
One, yeah. So I want to get to those. There's audiobooks for all of those too, and then
it starts off more YA, and then as it progresses, it definitely goes more into adult because the characters age.
You talked me into it last time.
Yeah.
You're the reason why I was on the lookout, and then I must have found it after I talked. Yeah, I found it in Minneapolis because one of my friends lives in Minneapolis, and they have like 4 half-price books there. We didn't have in the different in the different suburbs. There was like 4 different ones, so we hit them up, and at one of them I found. Where is it? Okay, it is right here.
There's none in LA.
I found this with it has gold sprayed it. And so, and even like it had this little this chair, and so it was half price. And then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna give this to you for $1 because that's ripped." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." So yeah, literally bad boy on the bike on the back and everything. So yeah, I want to get to these.
Yeah,
and
he has like a Cajun accent.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know. It starts off very YA, so just go into it knowing that, but then it progresses.
I wasn't even expecting it to progress until you talked to me last time, because I was like, I mean, even if it would be YA the whole time, like I would try Kresley Cole's YA.
Yeah,
he's still a very sophisticated storyteller. Like,
yeah, it turns into new adult. You know, and I think it's like done well. You know, they're young people and exploring sex.
Yeah. That's what I love about her is her storytelling, because there's a lot of these books that there's only one sex scene in them because they're enemies the whole time. She doesn't rush her enemies to lovers. So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, usually they do fucked up stuff to each other.
Right. Well, and especially like with starting kind of the first couple, and a lot of there was more sexual situations kind of sooner, like as they progress. Sometimes they're banging the whole time, and sometimes there's only one scene because there's usually some other acts happening, but her books are not all for the smut. They're for impossible situations, and I just love that. Oh God, she does it so well.
Anyway. It's great. For anyone wanting to do paranormal romance, it's always what I tell people to start with. It's also like kind of setting them up because you're not going to find another Kresley. Well, early Gina Showalter is similar.
Yeah.
But I feel like recent Gina Showalter I've kind of grown out of.
Yeah. It's funny. Well, not funny. I have quite a few of her books because when I've seen some cool ones, I've grabbed it. I even have some for like contemporary. I have a random contemporary from her. But the very first book of hers I read was her newest series, because I was like, I'm going to start a new series, which I know is a spinoff, probably of a spinoff or whatever. But I read The Warlord and I really liked it. But it's my first book. You know, I have nothing to compare it to. I haven't read anything else. So I've read I read The Warlord and The Immortal, and I'm really excited for The Phantom that comes out soon.
Yeah, so I haven't even read that one. I was reading, it was like Shadow and Ice or something.
Oh, okay.
And it was so god awful I DNF'd it. Like it was bad.
Yeah.
Like remarkably bad. like I was alarmed by how bad it was.
Oh,
And
boy.
I was like, oh my God, I can't, I've only read 45 pages and I like can't.
Oh no. That's
She
not
finds like an ice cave full of like frozen warriors and she gets all horned up over one of them. I'm like, and she thinks it's a tourist attraction. I'm like, you're getting horned up over what you think is a mannequin? What the fuck is wrong with you?
weird.
And also, tourist attraction, do you see any other tourists around? No, you're the only person in this ice cave. What is happening? I hated the heroine.
The thing, there's many things, but one of the things about Kresley's fated mates that I look for in like good ones is, and I guess not even fated mate, but it's my favorite in fated mate, is when the two characters' goals are so diametrically opposed that for one person to win, the other person has to lose, but yet somehow they both like win at the end. And literally Kresley does that in every book. In every book, whatever one person's goal is, that's it. Like just like in this couple, like I said, she's a hunter. He's the, and I granted that is a trope that shows up in Paranormal, but literally she's like, if you turn me into an immortal, I will hate you till I die. And he's like, you have to be immortal.
Well, you're not going
to. you have to be. I need you to do this. Like, and so you just, but their conviction. She writes their conviction so strong. It isn't just saying that.
Yeah.
You know, or like with Sweet Ruin, where it's like his penis literally can kill people, you know, or whatever, or like his kiss can literally kill some people. How are we gonna have sex in this book? Like, oh, magic, you know. I don't know. Yeah. She makes it so bonkers but so believable. And so when I see like that little quality, not the obviously the she's just again a cut above, but when I see that kind of show up in other books where I'm like, you got the magic, you did it, you did that kind of thing, and I'm impressed then when that happens, because
yeah, there are usually insurmountable odds in a lot of the books, but she does find a way for them to be surmountable that make
like the ghost. Like the ghost.
How makes sense. Yeah. Like it makes sense that this happened. It's not just like, let me just throw plot devices at it till it goes away. It's like, no, this made sense. Like it has a logical conclusion, which is maybe be taking the magic out of it, but like it makes sense from a literary standpoint.
And sometimes when she does it, sometimes the person being your mate is the answer. But that in the world she's created, the person being your mate can be the answer. Like they can be the only person that can do it. You know, like in Sweet Ruin, the reason she can take it is because of them being mates. Like that's why it works. And that I just love that, because it's the biggest representation of like love conquers all. When you're in Paranormal, love literally conquers everything, which is you know, as well as sometimes we just kick ass and make it happen together too. Yeah. So
I love Sweet Ruin. It's one of my favorite books of the series. It's so good.
But like,
or like I like Dark Sky a lot, and I feel like not everyone likes Dark Sky, but I love it.
See, when you read this, because last time we joked about it that we would do a Kresley Cole live show, you need to read this.
Okay.
2023. Just pick when you want to, like no pressure. But when you read it, we'll do a live show about her, because then we can like talk about like all.
I'm so down.
When you had mentioned that last time, I was like, oh, I want to reread some of these, and I had because I reread Lothair in October, had the best time. I annotated my beautiful copy that I got in Georgia that has like hardcover and
shit.
And I like annotated the whole thing, and it was so much fun. And I was like, oh, I need to reread my favorites, because I would like to like rank them sometime. I never have before, because I can't even try. Whichever the next book is my favorite, but I wouldn't rank them in like this is the worst. I would do almost like that tier ranking thing, because there are none that are bad. So I would have the tier of just like this is okay and great, and then little better, and then my favorites. Like
you can have favorites. You can have favorites. Doesn't mean they're bad.
No, I have favorites, but I mean I don't have one that would be like the F. Like I don't have any that would be the F, but I have ones that would be like the C or B, and then but still great, because the only person I compare Kresley Cole to is herself. So she does have ones that are, this is like a C level Kresley Cole, but it's an A level everyone else.
It's like a Tessa Dare.
Exactly. Like there is no bad time. Like there's not a single one of her books that I had a bad time with. They all, like, even the ones that I think are going to be a bad time, I'm like, nope, I had a great time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I started reading them in college. It was my first romance I ever read was Grizzly Cole.
I love that. Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah. My friend came up to me and she's like, hey, a vampire and a ghost do it in this. And I was like, why am I not reading this? And it was book 4.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I know. Dark Needs at Night's Edge. Dark Deeds, Dark Need. Anyway, whichever. All those ones are innocent, but nope, I know. Conrad and Naomi. Noemi. Yeah. Conrad and Noemi. Yep. Yeah. It's brilliant. Well, I'm glad you're selling you anime because you need to keep pushing, especially if you stopped in like the early ones. Because like I love the early ones. They're like watching old sitcoms where they don't age well, but they still work for you, the person who experienced it when you experienced it. But they just get even better and better because their plots just get so intense. But even the one, like there's the one where like the girl needs to be a virgin forever for her powers to work. And so you're like, great, well, how's this gonna work? How are they gonna bang if she has to be a virgin?
Well, yeah, that's the one though that's kind of problematic.
Yeah. She never claimed to be perfect. We call her perfect.
No, I think it's problematic, like how their first time goes, because she says no and stop a bunch. And then, like,
well, I mean, the first book is problematic. Let's be
real. Like, there's some problematic things. They were.
If she didn't need to feed, that's a completely non-consensual scenario.
Yeah.
She also doesn't want to be doing it. So is stuff problematic if the author's doing it on purpose to make purpose to make it problematic and show people things? That's a question. I think she was pretty aware of some things. Like,
yeah,
I always use the example because people will know, like The Duke and I. Julia Quinn didn't accidentally do what happens in that book, and then people are like, "Oh, this book is problematic." This isn't a bodice ripper from the 1970s. Like, those authors also knew what they were doing. They didn't write that and be like, "Oh, this is okay what this man's doing to this woman." Like, no, it wasn't supposed to be okay. It never was. So I think that it's like if we read it and we don't go, "Oh, that makes me feel weird," then I think it's problematic if we don't like mention, I don't know. That's my personal philosophy on that stuff because I love reading old romance. And I think that the women writing it are just as intelligent as us writing the stories, and they know what they're putting in there and want people to realize that marital rape is still rape, or, this, just because he's your fated mate and you guys are drawn to mate, does that mean that he can make you? No, it shouldn't. It's very uncomfortable. Yeah. But anyway, I love Grizzly Cole.
Yes.
Spent the whole break talk about it. I love it so much. But
anyways, let's catch up on some comments because I feel like
sorry
everybody. Christmas jokes.
Bad Christmas series. Oh, I've always wanted to read that series.
Oh, I have not, but like, there's a good recommendation. Also, people are siding with Kresley. Like, I also, like, if I, I'm so minorly with social media. Like, some people, like, know of me that, like, I'm cautious with social media, but, like, I'm not, like, someone with, like, thousands, like, tens of thousands of, like, followers on Instagram or something, where you're just like.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't take much, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's like why before we started, guys, I was telling Amanda, like, I'm going to try to take the last 2 weeks of the year off, and I've like never done that before. But like recently there's just been a lot piling up where I'm like, this is my career and I want it to be, but I also need to take a break and not be glued to it. And it's tough because I don't even just do all my work from my computer. I do everything from my phone. I film, record, edit, everything. So I can't just like leave it. But I'm trying to get everything prepped so that I can just, like, I'm going to turn off notifications for everything so that I'm not, like, anytime someone tags me not to see it, because it doesn't take much. Like, I feel like my mental health is strong, and then there starts being some people not liking you, or you feel like you're being left out of something, and it starts to feel really isolating. And whether or not that's purposeful, because just naturally different people click and then they become a clique, like, that's not always bad. That's just making new friends. And then you feel left out when you see them doing something with someone else. And I'm like, number one, ew, that's not what's happening. But number two, if it is happening, can I do anything about it? No. So I can't let it control me. I have 16,000 people on my YouTube that they don't know about that stuff. They just want me to keep putting my videos out. And if I want to do that, I need to take a break for a little bit.
No, you hit the nail on the head for like a lot of things with I'm not going to talk shit. It's just like,
Yeah.
I've felt a certain kind of way about how some people have acted. So anyway, but it's fine. You know?
Well, Amanda, when you've been around longer than 3 months on YouTube, like we know people. There's people I've been besties with who now have 500,000 followers, and they like
stop talking.
Yeah, like I wrote them a letter to help them adopt their daughter. I wrote a character reference, and I haven't heard from this person in 2.5 years. Like, you just, I don't hate them, but I was also like, oh, I see who fell off the wagon when you got bigger. But there's also people that I don't talk to, not because they did anything. I just was like, oh, I don't really have anything in common with them anymore, so I don't talk anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's just like when like you see like someone's doing a live show and like there's a lot of people on it and you weren't invited. So I'm just like, does that feel a certain kind of way about it? And I know it's probably not personal.
Right.
But it's like when all of my other friends are on it, I'm like,
yeah, no, definitely. No, 100%. I felt that. And then there's times where, like, right now, part of it too is that I've just been kind of panicked about how YouTube is like changing a lot of things and strangling things. And what I don't like in myself is it makes me feel like desperate for that to come back, especially because it's my income now. It's not just for fun. And for all the years before, I was like, this is just fun. If YouTube stopped showing my stuff, it'd be fine. And I'm like, it's really not fine. Like,
it's not.
I pay my rent. And I've noticed myself like being more jealous of things, and like, that's not going to help. And in fact, it's pushed some people away because I've felt more jealous. And then I'm like, ooh, I don't want to be this person. I want to be this person. Cause it's like, then I can't blame those people for not wanting to hang out if I'm like
being a bitch. Yeah, no, like,
so it's self-reflection. So
it's also really, mature and self-aware to recognize behavior that you don't think is great about yourself and maybe like, this isn't who I am. So I think the fact that we're both aware that we could be rage monsters is saying a lot that we're probably not rage monsters.
Right. Yeah. And I'm the type of person too where like I don't enjoy it, but I like being called out on my shit because I'm a big, bold personality, and I will make jokes that aren't funny sometimes and hurt people's feelings because I'm just like, I want attention. And so you're like that. And then I would rather have people be like, hey, you're being a bit much, and not because like I don't like you, but just like you're being a bit much, instead of people like they gather up hurts until all of a sudden you do one thing and then they're like, look at what this person does. They do all these things and they list out things going back for a year. And you're like, but why didn't you say something a year ago and I would have stopped? But they just hoard it up and then they snap and they have a list of wrongs. And I just don't do that. Like, I tell people things, but at the same time, the things they all listed, I'm like, I did do those. Yep, I did do that. I did say that. And so what can you do? But just be like, okay, well, so it leads to, I need to take a break and reset and be like, do I want to keep doing this the next year? I mean, yes, if any of my people are watching this, yes, I'm going to keep doing it. But like, am I going to put as much of myself into it, or am I going to get like a part-time job and keep doing what I'm doing? Because I got to be able to have a place that I can go without like losing money. And anyway, this turned into a therapy session, everyone. Sorry, but it's
I love it. Like, we invited you here to hang out.
I know, but I didn't mean to, like, we can talk about monster dick some more if we want. but I will just break it up. Like we can talk about Monster Dick instead. But
enough about us. Let's talk about monster dicks.
you could tell Amanda why I wanted to hang out, because I'm sick of sitting in all of those like by myself, because I'm just like. And then when your friends don't have time to talk because they're busy, because it's the end of the year, you're like, wow, they really don't like me. And it's just all sitting in you. And it's like, no, my best friend has 13 days till Christmas and she has to buy presents for her kids and do shit. And I'm just like, people don't like me.
Yeah. No. I mean, yeah. I think a lot of people feel very similar to how you feel. And like, I feel it too. Like I'm one of these. I'm just like, and maybe it's me too. I'm bad at like contacting people. It's like an ADHD thing where it's just like it's object permanence. It's like if they're not right in front of me, I forget to like send texts and emails and stuff. Yeah. But it's not that I forgot about them. It's just like they're not right in front of me.
Yeah.
So that's my own thing. Like I suck at commenting on stuff, and I just do. But it's not like I don't watch it. Like I watch your stories on Instagram. I know what's going on in your life.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like I don't comment.
I need to buy one of these for myself. Look at this cute little lemur that I got for my niece. Lemurs. It is the softest thing. I'm literally like, I need one of these for me. When Maverick died. His name is Linus. I'm a bit shy. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. Anyway.
Sorry. Yeah. I love lemurs. Let's catch up on comments and we'll do another sprint.
Yes, let's read.
Fall Back in Love. There you go. We read Thistlefoot by Jenna Rose Nethercott, which I loved.
I saw your review of that.
I am obsessed with it. I think it's so good, but like it's acquired taste.
Yeah. It's funny because you talked about that in your wrap up, and then Crystal was showing a picture of her bookshelf, and I saw that book there then after you happened. I was like, I wonder if she's actually read it or if she bought it at like when it came out. Because she likes kind of, off the wall type stories like that. She also just read the T. Kingfisher one that you were like, oh, that one was strange.
Oh, What Moves the Dead? It's just like I've seen the same thing done better other times. And I put 3 examples in the video. I'm like, it's the exact same plot, guys. Like, well, not the exact same plot, but the exact same plot element, whatever. Spoilers,
I mean, isn't it a reimagining anyway?
It's a zombie thing with it's called like Aciocordyceps or something. It's like a fungus that like takes over your brain and like makes you a zombie.
Oh, okay. Because I thought it was kind of a reimagining of something else anyway.
It's supposed to be Fall the House of Usher, but it's like zombies with mushrooms. And I'm like, it's been in a lot of books.
Yeah.
So
see, I heard body horror and I was like, nope. Which I know people love.
Yeah, and body horror. It's mushrooms like coming out of you. It's a lot. Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna move past that.
I know.
Continue on with the series is the Cressley Cole.
Please do.
The first one, it's a product of its time.
Yes, that.
It's a bit, there's some problematic elements in it, but the story is so good overall. Like I do recommend keeping going.
I also think that it's funny because I mean, and I know our tastes aren't the same with this. I like non-con and dub-con things, and I have for the last 5 years. So the time when I was reading it, I was really into that. So it was funny because I was like, no, I know that this is meant in, like, this wasn't written to be that, but I like those kind of stories. So I was like, this has come back around for the dark romance people who like that. That's a great series to start with because...
Well, the way it's written is yes, the actions are problematic, but the reasoning behind it doesn't make what they did okay. But you understand why it happened. He's been in a hole for 500 years, getting burned alive every day. He has some issues he might need to work out.
He chewed off his foot to get to her.
If you start from there and then he goes down on her while she's asleep and doesn't, consent to that. That's a thing. And she literally kicks him across the room. But it's just he's like, this is the nicest thing I've done to you since I kidnapped you off the street. So he doesn't defend himself. He's like, I'm sorry. I thought this was a nice thing. He doesn't get it. So it wasn't out of I'm gonna do this to you. It was like,
Yeah.
she'll like this, you know. So it was more of, if you look at like
bitches love this shit. Let me do this.
yeah, you know, like, oh my gosh, I'm nailing it, and he's like, I didn't nail it. So
also, I don't think she'd had any sex before either.
Yeah, it's not really a malicious intent kind of situation.
Yep.
Anyway,
we're gonna move so bad at getting through the comments, Amanda.
We keep talking about stuff.
I know.
Bridgerton's book. Really?
Oof.
It's my least favorite one. I'm very happy for you that you love it. I'm good for you.
So, like, hot take, Bookish Brews. It was my favorite when I was reading the series. I loved it because it was a Cinderella retelling. I loved that. And then when I reread the series, probably 5 years later, I was like, ooh, I don't know how I feel about him anymore. And then when I reread it, when I did my rereads for the show, I was like, I hate him. Like, it had just leveled up. I don't know. But I used to love that. I love it. So I definitely understand when people read it a first time and they like it. But he's such a whiny little entitled little bitch boy.
He doesn't understand anything about how he's being awful.
Yeah. And his family even is just like, what are you doing, bro? Like, what you doing? Like, you can marry whoever you want. Like, your brother's already got 4 kids. Like, why are you being like this? You think you can't marry the maid? Like, why are you being like this? Anyway.
And he doesn't understand like why offerings like, oh, don't worry about it. You'll just be my mistress. And like, he doesn't even understand why that's offensive.
Yeah, that like she's a mistress's daughter. And like, this is how she was treated. Like, you're not getting it. You're not getting it.
Yeah. Anyway. I'm sorry we're trash talking Benedict. But like, I'm glad that you like the book. The book is, there's no problem with the writing in the book. It's just like, I just don't like Benedict.
No. Here's the thing. I love Sophie. I will still stand by that.
Sophie's dope.
Sophie.
Yeah.
She is beautiful. And that's why like it breaks my heart for her. But the mom makes up for it. Yes. Ashton, you're a true friend. You're my girl. She's my fanfic friend. She recommends all my fanfic that I've read. Also, she's a true friend, not just a fanfic friend. But I found much more fanfic today, Ashton, that I don't have time to read. I just wish I could read it.
This is about Thistlefoot. I know Leanna hated it. Like, we're friends. I love Leanna. We get, there's a lot of books we both like, but like most of them we don't share the same opinion on. I'm just come to, it's fine. There is a Venn diagram where there is like a juicy center where we have a lot of similarities, but like there's still most of it's not in the juicy center.
It's also an interesting thing when you like, I have a friend who like her taste is really changing right now. So there's like less books we agree on over time, where when we first were friends, like we agreed on like all the books with, and now like our tastes are changing. And that's kind of a weird thing, because I'll like read one, I'll be like, she's gonna love this, and she'll be like, this is like a 3-star and I don't like it, and I'm like, oh, my heart, what?
I know. Oh shit, the Wicked Spirits book club, that was a long time ago. And then that was a book club I was in with Lauren and Brandy, I think the 2018.
Wow.
It was a while ago, but yeah, we stopped doing it for multiple reasons. But it was like a paranormal romance book club.
Oh, okay. 8 books. Oh yeah, especially if you got up to 8, Ash. You should definitely continue.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, Makeda, how are you?
Hey. This is us talking and not reading. It's a good time.
Anthony, who's your favorite? I like Colin and Penelope. So I'm really excited for season 3.
I would be if they were calling Penelope from the books. I'd be excited for it.
Yeah. Anyway. Yay. Fanfic friends tend to be true friends. Love it. Fair.
Oh, Eloise. She's good shit too. I like her.
That's Colin and right?
Yep, that's Colin.
Yeah.
Yep,
I
Colin.
love Colin's book. It's my fave.
Yeah. It is. It is. I like that's one of my taste changes. I really do like When He Was Wicked because I like more emotional books now.
You would. If I was thinking which one you would like, I would pick that one for you.
But Romancing Mr. Bridgerton is like officially my favorite, but I also haven't reread them now in almost 3 years, so it could feel different now than I did. But when I reread that one, they were so more complex this time around because like Colin is whiny and he's entitled, and Penelope also like has to smack him upside the head, and some people were like, he's so this or whatever, and I was like, no, but like they're growing still.
Yeah.
Like just because just because he's now knows that he loves her, it doesn't mean that he's now perfect. Like,
yeah, they still got shit to work on.
Yeah, and he still has some inferiority issues too because he's the spare
Yeah.
boy. Like he's not perfect, and I don't know. I like imperfect characters.
Then you have Gregory way at the end, but yeah, Hyacinth's book, I also really liked it. But like, if you were gonna pick a book for me,
Lady Danbury though, like
yeah, people are gonna pick that book for me. Like, I know it. Have you met me? Like, people would totally say that would be my favorite.
That one's just so much fun though, especially because like, that one comes after the more serious one, right?
Yes, it's the second to last one.
Yeah, so it's like you read one that's all about like a widow and like disease and infertility and like miscarriage, and then you get to read this one where it's like a treasure hunt. Like it's fun. Love it.
Anyway, okay.
All right, we do another one.
Let's do a sprint. Yeah. We've chatted for so long.
I know.
Not that I mind it, but anyway, let's do a sprint. Let me share
people what they want.
Okay. Got my duck back. We're gonna do a 30 and come back.
Okie doke.
Okay, so that was our second sprint. I got like, good thing I looked up because I was like so like engrossed in the book. But I'm almost done with it. I'm on 316 of like 356 pages. So like, you know, not too much more.
Was gonna say I'm at the dark moment, but there's like 3 more dark moments to go.
I'm at a dark moment.
Of dark, but that was a pretty intense one. Oh, trying to decide which stickers to put on my new journal, which is always difficult.
Yeah,
I have so many fun ones. My friend just sent me some really pretty ACOTAR stickers. Like this one says the Cereal Tea Company.
Spility.
Yep.
Love
so
it.
I'm going to decide. Resan's Tattoo Parlor. Some fun ones.
Well, anyway. Ooh. Okay. So Rokesby, that's the prequel series, right? Yes. I think I've read some of them. I read the Smith series in its entirety.
I've read every book she's ever written, so.
Oh, yeah.
Not to be like that. Before it was cool to do that. I did that pre-booktube. Yeah, because the Rokesbys were her newest series. First they were called Bridgerton prequels, then they were called Rokesbys. They're okay. I liked like 2 of them, but
yeah.
Personally, I haven't really loved anything after the Smith ones. For me, like those ones were the last ones where I had like a truly like this is almost a 6-star book in there. And then, I mean, again, they're just fun. They're great. But I feel like she's gotten tamer.
Yeah.
In not a great way. Like in kind of a...
Yeah. I read The Girl with the Make-Believe Husband, which is a Rokesby, and it was like... I was about it.
And I actually thought like First Comes Scandal, I thought was kind of clever because I love a double virgin book. Not like in a historical, I like it particularly because to me, I think it is more believable than you'd think. Like so often they have to be like a rake. And I was like, the rakes would be so riddled with disease. And not like that's not real, but I don't know. There's something that I love about a double virgin story. And that one was that. And it was fun. I don't know. I liked that. But it has a horrible cover. It's so that was one where they try to go like photorealistic almost, but yeah, it's still very cartoony. And like, it's like either use real people or use a cartoon. Don't do this awkward.
Then it's just like Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, like too much.
Yeah.
Forehead.
Yeah.
But I also think that they were trying to make this look like Julia Quinn a little bit. I mean, which is cute, but it just made her look
it's like Polar Express.
right. Like, I mean, like it's still a romance novel. Like, make it look cute. Like,
yeah.
You know. But
and Sharon's fallen asleep, so good night. We're gonna wrap this up soon.
Yeah.
Been going for a while, so a lot of people got a lot of pages read.
Nice.
Ashton, 47 of Anastasia.
Good stuff.
Another 20 pages. Atlas Paradox. Okay.
Ooh.
Very good. City of Brass made another coffee. Love that. Love the cereal. The cereal sticker.
I love the cereal. Spill the tea.
Anyway, also the boyfriend just got home a little bit ago. I'm sure he's hungry and wants the food. Not that it's my job to feed him, but like, you know, I'd like to eat dinner with him.
Yeah, we're gonna eat together. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, Julia Quinn is the Bridgerton author. Yep. I've loved her for a very long time.
Yeah. I know she knows who you are.
She does know who I am. Thanks for reminding me. That's not like, I guess, not like quite as special as it used to be because I know a lot of authors now, but she's one of the ones that like, her and Diana Gabaldon are the only authors I care if they knew me someday. Everyone else I've just become friends and fans of people, but
yeah.
Julia Quinn, she brought me a lot of joy in dark days of my life. So I'm always going to be a stan, even if I'm not a stan of the TV show. I'm a stan of her forever, because that the books I have of hers I've had for 15 years, and they brought me a lot of good times. So kind of started everything for me. So
I love that.
I'm a stan. Yeah, I'm a stan. Like, but I mean, I still love, like, I love Minx and Splendid are like two of my favorite books of hers. Her like very first one.
Those are old ones, yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're so funny. Like, I loved how funny those were. That's something I think that I mean, I can't imagine trying to write funny things is easy. I very much admire rom-com authors who can pull it off, but I also very much admire when, like, you're just writing a regular romance and you're able to have some really funny moments come in. And like some of those books, I just remember just laughing until like my guts hurt, because it's just like something that shouldn't be funny. And T.L. Swan does that in some of her contemporaries too. Like, they're definitely not rom-coms, but they put the comedy in when you need it.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that stuff. But
yeah.
How much further in your book did you get? You said you were getting really engrossed. So
yeah, I'm almost done.
Yeah, you're really close.
Yeah, I'm on 316 of 356. So like 40 pages left. So I'll finish it. I wanted to knock it out, and then I still have to read some more of Witching Hour, and god damn it. That's how I feel about it. I'm gonna keep on track of finishing it on time so I can film my video this weekend. I want to finish reading it so I can film the video.
Yeah. I was so focused on some that I need to do that I forgot all about my patron book, which, I mean, it's only the 12th. It's not like I've really forgot it. But in planning my stuff I need to get done before I can have a break, I was like, Jen, maybe don't forget that.
Yeah, exactly.
People are paying for you to read that book. You should do that.
Yeah, we're doing Legends and Lattes on mine.
Oh, fun. I hope that's fun.
Yeah.
I wanted to pick that up a few different times, so I'll have to see what you think of that one.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. It's going to be the last week of the month. Yeah, I'm going to be taking a break then too, actually, for things. I'm off that week from work. I didn't take it off. The company's just closed the last week of the year, so I get it off.
I mean, nobody does business between Christmas and New Year's. Like, there were years where I didn't have enough PTO to take a full rig off. And so you go to the office and just, I'm like, I could have just pretended I was here.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I would never take time off during the holidays just because I didn't have to travel anywhere.
Oh, right. Okay.
Because, like, I don't really have, like, a family. It's like, I have my mom and, like, that's it. Like, I don't have a family to go visit. And, like, my mom lives here. So, like, I just never took time off.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, I worked from out of college. I worked retail for 5 years. So having any time off around the holiday was like, you got the day. Right. And then the longer I was there, I was able to get it. Finally, by the last year I worked retail, and then I went to corporate, and it was like, you get the time, you know, which was really great. Like, it was really great to be, because they're like, nobody's doing anything. They're all taking their time off. Executives who don't take time off the whole year have to use time off. So even the time when I'd have to be in, I basically would read books at work a couple other days, because there was nobody calling in. And the people calling in who needed stuff, I couldn't do it for them. So I would just have to be like, well, he's not going to be back till January 5th. So I'm sorry.
Good luck.
Yep, I'm sorry, but yeah, good stuff though. But,
so last few comments here. Ben Arinovich, Rivers of London series. Very funny. I like that. The authors who slip the humor in. I like contrast in books. I've talked about, like, it's not a literary term, but it's a literary term that I've used, where you have to have contrast to have the book be dynamic, just like in photography, where if you have all of like these dark moments, you got to throw in a funny moment, because then it's going to hit so much harder, because you just like suffered for so long, or the vice versa. You've been happy this whole time, and it's a laugh riot. And when you hit that like sad note, it's going to resonate different. So you need like the contrast. You can't have just one thing the whole time.
Exactly. Nope, I agree with you. That's probably a big part of why I got off of like literary fiction and stuff, because they don't do that well, majority of it. And even some like high fantasies that I would read, like you'd have to read 6-7 books before you got a happy anything.
Yeah.
And even then, half the people are dead. And so
whoever's left, I guess they're fine.
Right. It's like what's really happy. And that's why, like, there's an interesting, this comment wasn't made to me this time, but one of my friends had done for Halloween, she did do a horror vlog. She was like, I want to do like a palette cleanser and read some horror books. And someone comments on her video, like, this is the only vlog of yours I've been able to stand. I just think romance is so unrealistic, and I don't understand why it's all people read. And like, she wasn't going to say anything, but she sent me, she's like, look what this person said. And I like literally immediately went to her comments, and I was like, number one, you say that you like my friend's channel.
Number one,
romance book reviewer. Yeah. So for you to say that you don't understand why people read romance, and like, this is the first vlog you've been able to watch, what if her other stuff have you been watching?
Yeah.
And like, also, it disturbs me that you think the horror books that she read are more realistic than people do fall in love every day.
Yeah.
Maybe you're saying like some of the sex is unrealistic or whatever, but I was like, romance is more realistic to me than the horror shit that you're reading.
Yeah.
I don't know where you're going with this.
Yeah, like how many zombies and werewolves do you meet on a daily basis?
Right. Or like, you know, some of the ones she was reading were these like some really horrific, like body horror or like whatever. And I was just like, read the room. Like you're literally commenting on it. And they were like, I don't know why you're taking this as a personal attack. And I was like, I'm not. You are attacking my friend in your offhanded comment by saying like, I don't understand why people read romance. Yeah. She literally says in the video, I normally am reading romance. I'm doing something different. Like, it's just the offhanded comments people make and like not realizing they're doing it. But yet in that case, I was like, I know my friend, and you hurt her really bad by saying that, because you just invalidated the other 500 videos on her channel by saying that. Anyway, I don't know this person who made the comment, but sometimes when people go for my friends, I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm going to be the person who's opening your eyes today. And you can make me the bad guy who took it as a personal thing. And it's like, I do kind of take it as a personal thing, because you said romance isn't real and horror is better. Like, you can prefer to read one thing or the other. Absolutely. You can have a preference, but don't come to a romance booktuber's channel and say romance is stupid. Like, I just watch a different video. Like, oh my God, I'll never get
people leave comments like it's my, I'm gonna see it. It's my video.
I mean, I get that some bigger channels don't comment on every comment, but like, I see every damn comment people say. I'm not that big. I don't think people realize, like, I get between 15 and 20 comments a day on like a slow day. Some days I might get 100, who knows? But like, I still see every single one. Like, don't make comments like that when it's just so casually cruel too, where you're like invalidating someone's job. But, anyway, it's just so like, I mean, people can like whatever they want, absolutely, but you also can not be a douche in people's comments. Like,
that's an option they have.
I end up watching weird videos I don't know. Bye, Melissa. I end up watching weird videos I don't know how I got there and like judging it a little bit, but I don't comment on the person and say that they're wrong. You know, it's that kind of intelligence of just like, you might be having that thought, but do you need to type it in? No.
Just not, but you're under zero obligation.
Yes, exactly.
Do I get this?
Sorry, I went down the other rabbit trail, but my point being, like, literary fiction's where we started. See where we go. Is like I used to read more of those, but I've always read romance, and at certain point, I just realized like I need to know everything's going to be okay. I need to know it's going to be okay. Once in a while, I can read a literary fiction when I know I can come back to happily ever afters, because someone even said it, like, that's why I can read dark romance, why I like it, because I like seeing us. It can mix that horror with the romance, because I know that no matter how bad it is, we're going to be together. And that might be unrealistic, that stuff, having a pretty toxic relationship that ends up being happy. That's
it's fiction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not going to live that way this book was.
She commented on Dolly Parton's book.
Run, Rose.
And she replied.
Wow. That really sounds like it was her. Definitely does. Oh, goodbye. Good night, friends.
Good night. Thank you, Larissa. I appreciate that. Exactly. It's just like you could just turn it off and go on with your life.
Right. I absolutely don't want you to waste time on my romance channel if you don't give a shit about it.
Yeah.
Pass me by.
But I think we're both like normal, sane humans. We're like, oh, I don't like this. I will stop watching it because I don't have to.
Exactly.
And just move on with my day. I don't need to sit there and be like, I don't like this. It's like, why are you obsessed with me? Why are you taking so much time?
Well, like that goes back to what we talked about earlier of, like, your taste can change. And like people that I followed 5 years ago, I don't follow them all anymore because like our tastes diverged. And then I found new people that fit what I wanted, and you meet new people. And yeah, sometimes it's tough to lose people, but I don't know if someone's said that here. I think they did. Like, sometimes you're not meant to be friends with people forever. Not everybody's a forever friend, but those people I mentioned earlier who don't talk to me anymore, like, I don't think bad thoughts about them. I'm sad our relationship fizzled, but I don't think bad things about them. I had a lot of good times, and times when I was depressed and needed a friend, that person was my friend and talked to me through the pandemic and through a lot of tough things. So, people can be friends for a time. Don't leave any pain behind. That's all that I want out of people. Just like, don't leave it bad if you can help it. So, Anyway.
All right. I think we're going to wrap it up. We've been talking for quite some time.
I know.
Jen, thank you, my dear, for coming and hanging out with me. This was lovely.
Thanks for having me. And I'll be back next week.
Yes. I got to email Charles, and hopefully we'll have like just a holiday romance fest.
I bet he'll have some great ones to recommend.
He's going to.
I'll have a solid 5 or 6, but I bet.
Yeah, I'll have a few. Like, we're betting on Charles here. Like, he's gonna do the heavy lifting. I'm just gonna tell him. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out. I'll be back Monday again with this reading sprints, and then Wednesday we're gonna do a live show, holiday recommendations. So thank you guys for coming and hanging out. I appreciate it. All of the love. Thank you guys. And we'll see you next week. Bye.